Well, hey there, it's David. Welcome back to Cross Fitness, helping men and women get in the best spiritual shape of their lives one workout at a time. Quick thought in this video that I'm calling In the Meantime. In the Meantime. So I'm talking to my wife Erin the other day, and we're talking about the bucket list I have once I have, create a miracle in my eyesight. Many of you know, have been watching this channel for a while. If you're new, I'm battling blindness. I have a debilitating eye disease called retinitis pigmentosa, or RP. Took my driver's license away about 9 years ago, so I haven't driven a motor vehicle since then. So I have a bucket list, and I felt like, hey, look, I'm a big believer in divine healing, the power of Jesus Christ, and knowing with all in the name of the Lord, and prayer of faith will save the sick, and the Lord will raise them up. James chapter 5, verse 15. Every time they call for healing at the church, man, I raise my hand, I'll go to the altar, I'll let the elders pray for me, I'll let the small group pray for me, my wife lays hands on me and prays for me, my friends pray for me, And so I'm just believing God that I'm not going to go blind, God's going to heal me, I'm going to drive again. But then I had this bucket list. I said, after I get my healing, I want to go snow skiing, I'd like to go snorkeling, scuba diving, I'd like to ride four-wheelers, Sea-Doos, all this list of things I'd like to do, half marathon, triathlons, just all kinds of physical things that I used to do but can't do now. And so my wife Erin said, yeah, that's great. I'm all for that, and I'm going to stand with you, honey, for healing. But in the meantime, what are you going to do? Are you going to postpone and defer your life until that happens? Or what can you do in the meantime? Well, it's a sobering question. It's a thoughtful question. It's an appropriate question. And, I think it's okay to have a bucket list. I think it's okay and all of that. But, there is a meantime. There's a between now and then, from here to there, period of time. And some of you know what I'm talking about. You're praying for something and it's been deferred, it's been delayed, it's been postponed. It's going to take a while. You don't know when you're going to get to do the thing you want to do, or go to the place you want to go, or be with who you want to be with. So in the meantime, what are you going to do with that? And so Erin was just challenging, she's a recreational therapist, and she says, you know what? So you can't ride a bike by yourself? Fine, we'll get a tandem bike. You just, you be the stoker on the back, and you be the engine, I'll steer, and we'll just have a blast. We can get on the slopes. We can run, we'll figure it out. We can do so much now in the meantime. It may not look the way that you had thought it might look. But where there's a will, there's a workaround. And it's a good thought. That's a good thought. That's helpful. And that's hopeful. And instead of, being discouraged or depressed about what I can't do in the meantime, perhaps I need to reframe and pivot into, well, what can I do? All right? That's a better question. And so 3 things come to mind for my own self. I'm preaching to the choir here, which is me, but maybe it'll help you too. What do you do in the meantime? Well, 3 things. Number 1, start where you're at. Number 2, use what you have. Number 3, do what you can. Start where you're at, use what you have, do what you can. And I think if I reframe in my mind, lay aside the victim mentality, poor, pitiful me, gee, I can't drive. Well, what I can do is I can be a really encouraging passenger. I can get on the back of the four-wheeler, and like I did on my honeymoon, and just hold on to my wife. We had a great time. So start where you're at, use what you have, do what you can. And in the meantime, while you're waiting on God to do that thing for him, and I'll stand with you and I'll believe with you up to and including supernatural, creative, divine intervention and miracles. But in the meantime, ask the Lord, well, what can I do? And is it more profitable for me to reframe, pivot, and shift my thinking to okay, I can't run, but can I walk? You know, that kind of mentality will take you a long way, okay? It's just thought from the peanut gallery here as I'm trying to verbally process with you as I turn the camera on to try to figure this out and get from where I'm at to where I want to be with vision, where I can get on the left side of the car and drive and do a whole bunch of other things as the menu drops down on the bucket list. So, but there isn't in the meantime, and for now I want to have a good attitude about it, and an attitude of faith and praise and worship to God on the front end. That's called faith. You know, once it's done, you thank God. It's called thanksgiving, appreciation, gratitude. But when you praise God on the front end, that's faith, without which it's impossible to please God. So there you go. In the meantime, hope that helps you out a little bit. For now, I'm David, your virtual mentor, remind you that I'm always for you, never against you. Have a great day.